esteemed Dean Academic Affairs, Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, guest of honor, respected Dr. Nisar Ahmed, esteemed Registrar, University of Kashmir, Farah Siddiqui, representative from Elsevier, participants, students, scholars, and dignitaries. Being student of political science, I could very much understand that the problems faced by the scholars from social sciences, that we have now currents, cross currents that we encountered with day in and day out in our research program. We generally feel that we are not getting updates, what are the new journals, new periodicals, and new methodologies that have been used by the Western scholars or that. Farah was also trying to bring the resource persons that could make us understand that how it is important for both science faculty and social science faculty. In this connection, ultimately, we reached to a point where we decided now let's have a seminar, not online but offline. Offline would be one-to-one if scholars have any queries or any question or are stuck somewhere in their research pursuits, they can make a full length of or at length they can discuss with the resource person. So I am quite hopeful this seminar would be most important or significant for those who are carrying out their research pursuits or trying to build a thesis in which they can say that our research is developing in a right direction.
When we were looking at the different journals of the Elsevier, we thought we should subscribe all. Because if we could have again gone for biological sciences or material sciences or any other subject, it would have again created, for us, I think we should have to be very uniform in choosing the subjects. And that only happened. So we choose probably 7 subjects for the subscription at very point of time. And Elsevier was offering 2 complementary subscriptions if we could have gone for 7. So I am thankful to the Elsevier publications also that my Vice Chancellor motivated and all persuaded that they should give a subscription, pre-subscription of 3 journals to the University of Kashmir. So I hope that when we were research scholars, we had issues, different issues, because those time it was offline mode, everything was offline mode, very less publications were on the online mode. So normally we had to face certain issues, we had to move to Delhi or anywhere in the anywhere other parts of the country to seek and to get the information from there. Only we were used to go to the Jawaharlal Nehru University or to the other libraries in the India to collect our, particularly collect the material. So it is a privilege to the present scholars, I think, that they can get everything in an online mode. But when we are discussing the subscription of journals, there is a very scientific procedure in-house in the Elsevier journals, that how many students, how many scholars, how many teachers are viewing it, are subscribing it, are downloading it. And we are fortunate that the Elsevier house is providing us the online information that how many journals have been subscribed at a particular time, in a particular month, or at a particular period. So we can see that how it is being used by our scholars, by our teachers, or by other colleagues as well. So that way it is very scientific, and we are happy to share it that at present, what Farah was also telling, that it has increased manifold in current year. Probably last year, what Irshad Sahab was also telling, we know that we are subscribing, or we are probably our teachers, our scholars, and our students were not much aware how to download, how to use, and how to access the subscription, and how to access the journals. And probably this, we had already one offline online mode awareness program about it, and probably today we had an offline mode because of the COVID. We couldn't do what Irshad Sir was already telling, but hopefully, if any query, if any question, and if any issue in accessing the journals, they will be happy to answer those queries. And I am happy that there is a good number of female and male scholars and students, though there is less participation from the teachers. My request to all the participants will be that if what you learn here today, because it is an offline mode, my request will be to please share it with your colleagues, with your students, with your scholars.
The role of Allama Iqbal Library is very, praiseworthy, because it's through this center, through this library, we get linked to this world, to the world of publishers. We get linked through them only. Once I remember my days when I was a postgraduate student or a research scholar, how we used to collect these references. I don't feel anyone in the audience has done his postgraduate degree or PhD in that era, when we used to make cards. And those cards used to be thousands and hundreds in number. And how difficult it was to get a relevant paper then. We used to write letters, sometimes to the publishers. At times publishers would respond. They were kind enough to respond. And at times they had their own, business interests. They would never respond. And sometimes we used to write it to the concerned authors. Kindly send us this reprint. And just see how easy the things have become. Information technology, information communication technology has made things so easy that just within minutes, within hours at the most, you get the paper which you are interested in. Publishers or publishing companies, they have indeed played an important role in promoting science, in promoting knowledge. I should say, in science or in knowledge, in growth of science, in growth of knowledge, where we are at present, publishers or publishing companies, they have played an important role in our this journey towards this stage where we are at present. It has two aspects. For researchers, there are two dimensions of these functioning or the working of these publishers. For us, we have two dimensions of their functioning. One is that we get our work, we get our research outcome disseminated through them. So we are indebted to them. They disseminate whatever we generate in our labs, through our field surveys, through our research work. It's through them it gets disseminated. And then it is through them we put our hands on the relevant literature, on the relevant document which pertains to our research or which pertains to our area of specialization. Had they not been there, the things would have been much difficult for us.
First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir Professor Talat Ahmed, for accepting our request and supporting this initiative. Along with him, I would also like to thank Professor Farooq A. Masoodi, Dean Academics, Professor Nisar Ahmed Mir, Honorable Registrar, and the librarian Professor Pirzada Irshad Sir for helping us extend our partnership with the research community of University of Kashmir. I am also thankful to the members of Allama Iqbal Library, key members of the university, and all the participants who are present here to attend this seminar. Rather than talking about the introduction of ScienceDirect, I would like to start with that with the 140 years of experience and with the objective of supporting the research community, Elsevier has transformed itself from a publishing company to an information analytics company. As mentioned by the Honorable Librarian Sir, that the kind of response we have been receiving till today for the ScienceDirect platform has been exceptional from Kashmir University. There has been a usage of 105% increase from the previous year to this year in just 10 months in 2021 in terms of usage. There has been 6% growth in terms of quality of the publications that the university is producing. And at the same time, you have highest publication, citation, and reference share with Elsevier. The objective of this webinar is to help you follow the proper practices of publishing, how you can increase your quality and quantity of publications, and at the same time utilize the ScienceDirect platform to the best of its capacity.
The Allama Iqbal Library is one of the largest libraries in North India. During COVID-19 pandemic, where most of the educational institutions were closed, Allama Iqbal Library remained open. The library has 19 major divisions, 3 subsections, out of which 21 were functional. During the last 2 years, the library procured 262 e-journals from Oxford, 138 e-journals from Emerald, 1,552 e-journals from Elsevier, 190 plus e-journals from IEEE, 10,000 plus videos and visual articles from Joe Online, 21,240 print books, 9 databases, and more than 300 ebooks. The library also checked around 300 PhD theses of research scholars for plagiarism in Urban software. Allama Iqbal Library performed major upgradation of RFID system, and installation of CCTV is almost near completion. The library provided online access to students of distance education through remote access facility. Besides this, the library conducted many webinars during the pandemic.